Paul, should we start with injuries? I feel like that's where we've started most weeks and where most people are concerned at the minute. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, most people, including myself. It's been a tricky week. I think on Tuesday we only had 10 outfields training. So you're best to name them, and I'm best to tell you, really, aren't I?
Well, I mean, it's Aaron Collins, we obviously know, is out for a lengthy period. I mean, guys who are getting close, I suppose. How's Nathan Thompson doing? Kane Thompson-Summers?
Yeah, Kane has dipped in and out of training. He's getting a little bit fitter. His is a bit more of a complicated problem, but he's looking better as the weeks progressed. Nathan Thompson has been running in the gravity treadmill, whatever you call it. So he's on the grass tomorrow, so that's quite good. Obviously Aaron's a long way away. Joe has been running on the grass. We hope to get him involved in squad training next weekend, which will be a massive boost for us all. Jack's progressing quite well. He thinks he's earmarked himself Bristol Rovers, I think he told me today. So that's only a couple of weeks away.
Because I mean, Gethin's obviously going to be long term.
Gethin's long term, Kane long term. Luckily, after this weekend, they get John Mellish back because like all four of my fullbacks are out, which has been a blow. But hopefully, next week we could have John Mellish back. We won't be far away from having Joe back.
And Luke Offord, of course, will be back from suspension as well.
Offie will be back. It's disappointing losing Offie on a second booking. It sort of summed us up, really, I think. But disappointing. It wasn't a Matete sending off, but it was not much better. So a bit disappointing to lose him, obviously. Mags has had another good week's training, which is good. So I feel like they're all close, but not close enough for Saturday, really.
Have you known an injury sort of situation like this before?
No, I haven't. I had a similar one last season where I had a few defenders out, and it was tricky for a bit. But it's been disappointing. I mean, I appreciate I'm not taking away from our form. Our form hasn't been great, but we've never been able to pick the same sort of team, similar team. Which has been disappointing, and also they're not just innocuous injuries. They seem to be 8 to 10 weeks, or I don't think we'll see. We might see Geth this year. I don't know if we'll see Kane till next year. So they're your two right backs. So they're long-term injuries. However, as I always say, it's next man up. We can't cry about it. It's just disappointing, and I think it's more disappointing when you walk off a pitch and you walk past all your players who haven't kitted out that day, and you think, oh, there's some good players there. But I think there seems to be a lot of injuries at a lot of clubs at the moment, so we're not the only ones. I don't know what's happening. I'm not trying to get too conspiratorial about it, but it just seems to be more prevalent in modern day football than I remember it.
And it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because they all feel like they're different injuries, coming in various different elements of games and in training. So it must be difficult for even you to put your finger on if there is even a trend to it, or if it's just bad luck.
That's what I mean. We've got plantar fascia, calf, knee, hamstring tendon, broken arm. They've just been a bit of everything. I mean, I don't know if I've shown you the video of when the two Aarons contact in training in a light session, and he manages to do his hammy and be out for it might be 6 to 8 weeks, which is positive news, so that is a bit of a positive. It's just an innocuous bit of physical contact, so it's not like, not that anyone thinks this, but my reputation precedes me at some places, but they're running up mountains and we're at the bottom like Indiana Jones with whips, and we're making them, run through ice ponds and, crazy stuff. It's just normal training. So it has been disappointing that we've, been all over the place really with injuries. But it does feel like we're getting some back, and we just need to. I keep thinking that the Reading game, the Papa John's game, we'll have our dream 11 playing in that at this rate. So it should be good.
It feels kind of doom and gloom all of a sudden here, doesn't it? It just feels like the mood's kind of been sucked out of the place in the last few weeks. Yeah,
it is disappointing. I'm not. You can politely ask me my thoughts about Saturday's game. It hasn't changed. I thought that was the worst performance of our season. I didn't see it coming. We did start the game really well, and we should have been like handsomely in front the opportunities we created. And in fairness to Accrington, they left us 3v3 and we just didn't exploit it. We didn't pick the right pass or technically do the right pass. So that was hugely disappointing, especially after the back of a good performance at Chesterfield. So you feel like you take one step forward and two steps back a little bit. But we look forward to the Shrewsbury game, and if we win there, and you could be back in the playoffs. That's how crazy this league is. And I spoke to someone the other day. I don't think I've been part of a crazier league start before. Like apart from maybe 2 games, I thought we could have won all of them, and we haven't, obviously. But the way the results are going, that everyone's beating everyone, bar maybe 1 or 2 clubs. Like Gillingham, for example, they've been on a great run. They were 1-0 down at Newport. Newport missed a penalty to go 2-0 up, and they ended up winning 3-1. I think at the weekend, Shrewsbury, they beat Barnet 3-1. Barnet beat Grimsby 3-0. The results don't seem to add up. There doesn't seem to be that much consistency yet. The only consistent thing is it's inconsistent. That's probably the only thing I can say. But we need to, you can probably have one bad run a season if you want to get promoted, maybe another hiccup, but we've just dropped too many points too soon, especially at home. Like I said, our away form's fine, 2 points average. Our home form has been hugely disappointing. And it's more disappointing because that's where most of your fans are, so they get to see your team. So I was, with the dressing room, really disappointed about last week, and I think the lads are trained well, and looking forward to putting it right this weekend.
I mean, you mentioned it there. Something you can hang your hat off this season has been the away form, and it's been exciting watching Dons on the road this year.
Yeah, which is good. I'd rather it the other way around though, obviously. And our intent is always to go out and win every game. And our intent Saturday was to win the game, and not arrogantly, but when I stood watching the team after 10-15 minutes, it had feelings of, look, this could be a comfortable afternoon. We just need to get the first goal and it'd be a comfortable afternoon. We didn't. They did. I think, in fairness, they created more chances than us and they were more clinical than us, so they deserved the win. But our home form, I don't want to make it out as a massive problem, but if we're going to be successful, there's no point pretending anything else. Our home form has been hugely disappointing. It's like our home form is like bottom 3 material. So fortunately our away form has hung in there for us. But I'm also not trying to make headlines. I still think we played well in some of the home games. I was hugely disappointed we lost to Walsall. I don't think we deserved that. But our performance Saturday, and you can only live off your last performance until the next one, was the most disappointing.
Going to Shrewsbury then, a team that have had a really sticky start to the season, but you've come up against teams who have already had sticky starts.
So
as well.
have we. I mean, we've had a sticky start. It's nowhere near as flowy as I would like, and they have had a sticky start. Although they have got a young team, so that they'll grow into the season. They have got a good manager, an experienced manager, and they have got a force going forward, and they have created chances. I've watched the last few games. They've created chances. They just haven't taken them. In many games we've played in this year that we've created chances and not taken them, and then you don't get the points you possibly deserve. Sooner or later that will turn for them, like it will for us. I just hope it doesn't turn from this weekend, because I know it's going to be a difficult game. I know, and if anything's more evident, not that I ever said at the start of the season that we would smoke the league or anything, but if you don't match the opposition's enthusiasm and physical output, it doesn't matter what talent you have in the building, you won't win. So first and foremost, we have to match their intensity, and they'll be desperate for a win, as will we. So I don't go into this game with any more or less confidence than I have in any of them. I just know it's another game asking different questions, and if you've got to win, when you get the opportunities to break the lines and take a shot, you've just got to take it. And in recent weeks, we probably haven't been as cutting edge at the top end of the pitch as I would like.
And that's a funny thing, isn't it? Because the front line has changed. They've all been players that you've brought in, certainly in the last few games. But it feels like MK of old, that they get to that point and a little bit shot shy at times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think in the last game we were shot shy. I don't think we got into many positions to shoot, which is a greater concern for me. I do agree with you in other games. I think we can pull the trigger, but my memory is probably rawest with the last home game. It wasn't like, oh my guys, why didn't he shoot? Or it was more about the fact of why didn't he just play that pass just in front of him? Why didn't they move the ball a bit quicker? Why didn't we take it on the back foot and be a bit more expansive. They're the things that disappointed me. And there's loads of criticisms with every system, every club, every fan base of the team. I understand that, but normally the criticisms of my team definitely aren't the fact they don't shoot. You can say a lot of things, but normally my teams cross it, shoot.
Oh, we saw your Rotherham teams plenty of times for
exactly,
that.
Yeah, so it's not normally a problem in that. But like I said, the last game we weren't good enough to create goal-scoring opportunities, and that's something we need to address.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Yes, Paul, you said there that our away form is better than our home. Have you worked out why yet?
No. Not anything publicly I've worked out. Sometimes it goes like that. Some teams can't win away from home for toffee and amazing at home, and sometimes the other way around. I don't think. The Grimsby one, I've been on the record about 50 times and put my stamp on that. But generally, I don't think our performances about the last one have been bad. I think we deserve possibly to get something out of all of them. Whether we've been more fortuitous away from home, maybe we don't set up any differently. We're not like a counter-attacking team, although obviously when teams get at us, I quite enjoy that. So I haven't got anything magical to tell you why we're better away from home. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you, because then Shrews would listen to it and go, that's what they do away from home. So no, I don't think it's anything different. We prepare exactly the same way. And if we win the next home game against Gillingham and we're fortunate enough to pick up something this weekend, then, respectfully, it'd be a different question. It'd be like, can you do it back to back? Can you do it 3 times on the spin? And there'll be more enjoyable questions to answer. But at the moment, the lads haven't got any issues playing at home. I just think that at home, for every team, there's probably more of an expectation to get the first goal. In the last couple of games, at least, we haven't. And that puts pressure on the rest of the game, which we have to get better as a group to deal with.
Because defeats bring pressure, as you've said,
yeah.
And pressure brings frayed tempers and nerves. Are you sensing a slight change in your team's setup and their nerviness, for want of a better word, in the dressing room?
That is a good question. I don't think so, not yet. And I don't think, through the week, you don't sense any nervousness with the players, because they all want to play, they all want to get in the team. You sometimes see things creep into certain players on the pitch if they're having a bad time, but you see that during the course of a season anyway. Over 46 games, for example, the left back isn't going to be the best left back every single game. So I think you see moments. I think the lads don't feel sorry for themselves, but also aware of the fact that we have had a few injuries that have, knocked the wind out of a few people's sails. I think Aaron's one last week after, seeing him play well in the second half, especially against West Ham. I think the lads were looking forward to welcoming him back, because it adds something pretty unique to your front line. So, but I don't think the lads feel sorry for themselves, because as a player, as awful as this sounds, it's a team game, but it's also a solo game within a team game. If us 3 were centre forwards and you 2 were injured, I'm thinking happy days, I'm playing every week. So there is an element of selfishness about it. So I don't think that, but maybe in recent weeks we probably haven't had the power on the bench that we had at the start of the season. So I think that. I don't think there's any nervousness. I do think sometimes the willingness to win can overspill, and I did warn the lads about emotions going too far the other way. You've just got to try and keep in the sweet spot, and like I said, if the opposition score first, then they do. You just got to keep going. I try and throw as many different clubs in this interview as I can, but if you watch Liverpool, they haven't been amazing, but they just stay in the game and they keep getting late goals, and that's what confidence does. I know that, and then they believe that they can always do that, and all of a sudden they're like a powerful force to play against. If it happens the other way and Liverpool never get a late goal and they go a goal down, they'd be a different team. But you write your own history. I say it to lads all the time, you can only live in the day you're in, but you're trying to do it for everybody who comes, families, everything. And I don't want it to feel too much of a pressure on their shoulders. They've just got to go out and perform. And if the performances are good, then the wins will come.
And talking of pressure, I suspect a few of the fans I've spoken to a couple as well, are feeling a bit jittery at the moment, with the spectre of last season hanging in the air around here still. You've got a message for fans at the moment at this admittedly early stage of the season?
No, not really. Not like a bang your chest sort of message. Just the fact that I like to think that they've seen some good stuff this season, and hopefully there's better stuff to come. And like I said, I personally, and I can say this because I'm not speaking on behalf of the club, although I am sort of the spokesman, I personally thought it would have moulded quicker than it has. And that might be arrogant for me, but I thought that we signed a bit of on the top line, we've been good defensively, everything will be okay. Everybody tries to improve in the summer, obviously. So I think that it will come together, although many managers have sat here before and said the same thing, but I can only be honest with your question. I don't think there's anything to necessarily worry about, although my drive home Saturday night was quite bleak, as I told you off the record. But like, we're all in it. I mean, I'm miles away from a family, as is Potsy, as is Rich. We're all in it to be successful. I wouldn't come here. I wouldn't be here. So I have full confidence in where we're going. It's just at the moment we're in a little bit of sticky water. So we've got to row a bit harder is probably my tip.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.